Alright, everybody. It's time for the fucking depressing shit, I guess. I'll drop this a little bit lower. Uh, alright. Ayo. Fuck. Well, so this stream is about my mother. Also, I said I'd give a warning. This section here is about to be about my mother, her story, how it's affected family, um, and shit like that. How do I say it? I don't know. It's just basically gonna be me and my family, with the kind of the emphasis my mother. So I understand if some of you don't feel comfortable hearing that. It's going to include a lot of things that some people don't really find enjoyable to hear. It's not going to be exactly me. I'm normally very joking, very, what is it? Kind of lax. But this is going to be serious. It's going to be about my mother. And yeah, so just so everyone's aware, we'll be going into the portion that is, yeah, it's kind of what gave me my humor. So, I guess is everyone ready? We'll be going into Jackbox after this. So, the story of my mother with her, she was diagnosed with cancer at a very young age, at the age of 13, with a Hodgkin's lymphoma. She started chemo treatments at the age of 13, just due to the lack of medical advancements they had back then. It took a toll on her body, a very harsh toll. The left side of her body, yeah, the left side of her body, started having increasing issues. Her heart began to suffer with the blood vessels and all that, lungs issues. She's had multiple heart surgeries over the course of her life. Um, she's had a mechanical valve implanted, and she had a cow valve implanted into her heart as well. And along with that, there was stents put into the blood system to increase blood flow to reduce the constriction on the vessels. Uh, she's been on blood thinners for that same reason for as long as I can remember, which isn't very long, honestly. Uh, she fought to have a family and live for us before I was even born. She had one boy and two girls with a separate father, other than mine. And honestly, I didn't realize we had different dads for a while, which I mean, it never changed anything between us, but we did have different dads. They've grown to accept my father is 100% theirs. We all still gladly call each other family. There's nothing really that separated us at all. We've gone very close, let alone that Beans could come in here and give her story as well, and it'd be completely fine. Um, where am I at in this thing? And the kids that she had at the time, dealing with all the cancers that she had, the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, well, not non-Hodgkin's, the Hodgkin's lymphoma, and two liposarcomas is what they were called. Renal cell cancer and breast cancer. So she had a whole bunch of shit that she was dealing with, along with heart issues. Let alone raising three kids. She also had an abusive husband at the time, which was very shitty for them. She worked three jobs through all of that as well to get them through their schooling. Well, that not really through schooling, but just get them through for a while. Um, she just found something within her to push for her family. Once she separated from him, the ex, my dad got a scholarship to a school in my state, and that led him to meet my mother through emergency medical services. Well, not services, emergency medical technicians. They were EMTs, which means that they recovered a lot of bodies and stuff like that. They had a very gruesome work field. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna take a sip of water. And everyone that knew her, they knew her as someone that was almost always smiling. So it was very hard to see what she was going through from the outside. It took a toll, but she was a very happy person despite all of that. But when she met my father during EMTs, sorry, um, they had a wedding after I was born, so they actually had me before their wedding. So I was basically a miracle baby with all the medical conditions she had. She risked her life to have one more son, and she lived for 18 years after having what was known as basically a miracle baby, which leads to, you know, the dark humored son of a bitch you got right here. Well, I don't want to call myself a son of a bitch because that means I'm calling her a bitch. So, son of a great person. Um, I was in the wedding that they had between each of them. So we had the four siblings all together that day. I was causing as much chaos as I do now. I sadly don't remember much of my life anymore. I believe I've lost it mostly because just emotionally shutting down from trauma. All I know is she fought making it to all sports and practices that I had in my entire life. If I had a swim practice, she was there. Swim meet, she was there. Football practice, well, not football practices, but football meets, games, I guess. Wrestling matches, mostly my wrestling practices. My dad would make it to matches and practices as well. And there was only one game in my life that I could ever remember either of my parents missing, and it was a baseball game that I ended up breaking my leg in. And the reason she didn't make it is because of a heart surgery. So it was very hard on her. She took it too hard. But it was great to spend time with her. I broke it the week before summer, 2 weeks before summer. So I spent my entire summer stuck in the house with my wonderful mother. Um, and the broken leg carried me into high school. It was my very first year of high school is when I started walking off my leg again. Um, and in that time of me in high school, my father got cancer. I have it written down as twice, but it's now three times. He recently had cancer again and got it removed again within, I think, within a month and a half recently. He got it again and removed. Um, she lived for years and watched three out of the four kids graduate high school. She missed my graduation by about a month and a half. Um, Along with my dad getting cancer three times, he tore a bicep and a rotator cuff. So it was a terrible year for everybody. It was the same year she passed. Both of those were retreated very easily with just some internal surgeries and stuff. It wasn't too bad. Uh, Luckily, they caught the most recent cancer and got it removed without too much issue. But he has to get on some more meds. Along with all the surgeries that he had for cancer, the most recent cancer that he had stopped his heart. So they had to perform CPR to bring him back, which it was gladly successful. But of course, it was a scare for all of us again. Um, Now he did have a nice little cool, I'd say, Punisher mark on him, which was a very, you know, odd topic to have, especially at this time of year. But yeah, he was very strong. It's very hard for us to get over all that. And let me find a picture of my mother real quick. I don't have too much more to say. I kind of forget most of it. But let me open this up. Come on. Quiplash, of course. All right. Pics. There we go. There's the folder. Yeah. I know it's gonna be big and scary. Oh, there we go. That's one picture of her. Yeah. I'm doxing my mom. Cry about it. But yeah, this is the person that raised me and that we are here for today. At least I'm here for today. I don't even know what age she is at this point in these pictures. Beans would know more. Come on. I got one more. One more. There we go. Now this one is the last year. This one's within the last year of her. I don't know if you could tell. It's fucking she's insane. But yeah, that's the person that raised me. And the person that we talked about today. So yeah. The first two, okay, so actually the top left one was I think a year and a half before she passed. It wasn't the same year, but it was like not close. She had her hair for a little bit longer. This picture, the top one to the center, that was a good bit ago. And this bottom one is her during chemo and all that to extend her life. The last part.